The swift push to censor and ban books has been startling. In 2021, the American Library Association reported nearly 1,600 book challenges or removals, the highest in 20 years, and mostly targeting Black and LGBTQ plus themes and authors. But just a few weeks before the midterms, a unique collaboration is taking place. The African American Policy Forum has partnered with the Transformative Justice Coalition on a Books Unbanned bus tour to mobilize 10 million more Black voters to the polls in cities from Minnesota to Florida. And joining me now in studio is Kimberly Crenshaw, Executive Director of the African American Policy Forum. She coined the term critical race theory and is a law professor at Columbia University and UCLA. Ms. Crenshaw, thank you very much for coming to the Sunday Show.
So pleased to be here.
So tell me about this bus tour. Today you're in Virginia and Washington, D.C. You told me before we came on you started in Minneapolis.
In Minneapolis, right.
Specifically, what is the purpose of this tour?
Well, Jonathan, it's the 10 million more Black voters bus tour. It's a votercade. A lot of people we're finding don't even know that an important election is coming up. So the first point of the tour is just to alert people that an important election is coming and they ought to get involved. But more importantly, what we're trying to do is to give people a sense of why this election is perhaps the most important one in our lifetime. We all know democracy is on life support. You've just been talking about it. What we're also trying to do is to reach Black voters in particular, because, look, there are 40% of registered voters who don't vote. There's 6 million African Americans who are not registered to vote. And a lot of the issues that we're going to be facing over the next couple of years have everything to do with the fact that we cannot save our democracy without securing anti-racism and racial justice. There's no daylight between the two. So that's what the point of our part of the motorcade is. We're calling it From Freedom Writers to Freedom Readers, the Unbanned Book campaign.
You were telling me, but you've been on the bus traveling 9 straight days. You started in Minneapolis, and so now you're here in Washington, D.C. as we speak, but also in Virginia.
Yes.
What have you been hearing from Black voters or just Black people on this trip?
So it is true that a lot of people don't know that an election is coming. So we are telling people that this is important, but they are shocked when they find out that some of these banned books that are framed as divisive, are books that they grew up on. They're shocked to find out that The Bluest Eye is being banned. The Color Purple is being banned. They're disturbed to learn that their children can't read books like Something Happened in This Town, which is about a Black person who was shot by the police. And of course, they are so excited to get the 1619 Project and critical race theory because they've heard that these are banned ideas. They heard that this is forbidden knowledge, and they want to know why, and we want to tell them why. So we're giving away 6,000 books throughout 17 states and over 24 cities.
Are you seeing, so there's enthusiasm about learning about what's happening to books and books that involve lives that aren't the majority, that aren't white, but is that also translating to people saying, where's that application? Where's my voter registration form? Where can I sign?
Absolutely, Jonathan. I think a lot of people focus on the presidential campaigns, and they don't have a sense that the local elections really determine things like who sits on school boards, and school boards determine what kind of education your children get. They're the ones that can decide that the story of Ruby Bridges, for example, is too divisive to teach in the public schools. So we think it's important for people to actually have a concrete sense of what local elections are all about, what midterms are all about. I think once people see it, that's what we've been seeing. Once they see what's at stake, then they're really mobilized. What we want people to do is not vote just individually, but go out and get their posse to vote with them and to read with them as well.
We have less than 2 minutes left, and I can't have you here without giving you the remainder of that time. As the person who is the person credited with coining critical race theory, which is a complex law school taught idea that has now become this catch-all for everything that annoys some white people about the truth of our history and the truth of this country. Your reaction to that?
Well, you know, Jonathan, critical race theory has been and was a law school course, but the way the anti-democratic forces have framed it to encompass everything that's anti-racism, the entire apparatus from equal opportunity to implicit bias to structural racism, they are using it as a container to make racism unspeakable. And when racism is unspeakable, our multiracial democracy is unachievable. I appreciate, though, the fact that they've put the desire for critical race theory in everybody's minds. Our books are just flying off the tables. So I have to thank them for that.